Maybe it's just me, but I find it fascinating hearing about actors that were very nearly cast in iconic movie roles. To name a few, Will Smith was almost Neo from The Matrix. Michael Caine very nearly took over the James Bond mantle from Sean Connery, and Sean Connery turned down Gandalf because he didn't understand the role, instead opting to make the likes of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Still, we're not here to look at the insane life choices Sean Connery's made, including his much publicised advocacy for hitting women. We're looking at Iron Man and a few of the actors who very nearly portrayed him before Robert Downey Jr. stepped up. An Iron Man film in one form or another has been trying to get off the ground since the early 90s, with Stuart Gordon, director of Reanimator, keen to helm a low-budget adaptation. Maybe it was his work on Robot Jocks that inspired him, who knows? But I shudder to think what a low-budget early 90s version of the Iron Man suit would have resulted in. Now, it's not until 1996 that we hear about our first actor expressing interest in portraying Tony Stark. And it's Nicolas Cage. Of course it's Nicolas Cage! Who else is it gonna be? Anyways, that didn't happen, and that's when Tom Cruise steps in, trying to get his own thing off the ground, even commissioning a script that was co-written by Stan Lee. Now, as far as actors go, Tom Cruise remained semi-attached until around 2004, before pulling the plug, quoted as saying, "I didn't feel my best running could be done in a robot suit." No, that's not true, he said. Something, as it was lining up, it didn't feel like it was gonna work. The movie then bounced around from director to director, the level of involvement of each varying, but it included the likes of Quentin Tarantino, Joss Whedon, Nick Cassavetes, and Len Wiseman, before finally landing with Jon Favreau. He was actually slated first to direct the Captain America film, his take being a superhero comedy adventure, before he changed his mind and switched projects. But that's a video for another day. Actually, no it isn't. That is all the information that there is on that. Now, Jon Favreau always had Robert Downey Jr. in mind. The studio, though, weren't as keen, possibly due to his past indiscretions, or possibly because he was considered washed up. I mean, at that point, he'd been on Ally McBeal, but nobody actually remembers that. They only remember the dancing baby. Look at this thing. Awful! Regardless, a number of actors were considered. Timothy Olyphant read for the role. Clive Owen was in the mix. Leonardo DiCaprio's name was rumoured, but I couldn't find any confirmation of interest on either side. And reportedly, Hugh Jackman was offered the role, but turned it down. The closest that anyone got other than Downey was Sam Rockwell, who did go on to play the poor man's Tony Stark, Justin Hammer, in Iron Man 2.
If it were any smarter, it'd write a book that would make Ulysses look like it was written in crayon, and would read it to you.
Jon Favreau maintains that he would have made a great Tony Stark, saying that there were some things he would have brought to the role that would have been great. Favreau's reasoning behind casting Downey tied into the fact that his best and worst moments have always been in the public eye. Also the fact that he had to find an inner balance to overcome obstacles, and that he could make Stark a likable asshole. Which, when you think about it, is exactly who cinematic Tony Stark is. Because as much as I love his mixture of charisma and dry wit and intelligence, I kind of want to punch him in the face. I'm so conflicted. It's the perfect balance. Alright, thanks everyone, that's about it. And if you liked this, maybe you'll like this video looking at who's the best Avenger and why. Also maybe this video here on whether or not the Iron Man trilogy is any good. I'll link those at the end and below, along with my podcast, The Weekly Planet. That's out every Monday and it covers movies and TV shows and comics. Some people like it, I guess. Like I said though, it is linked below where you can download it directly, or you can get it via iTunes, or even at the terrific comicbookmovie.com. But question, I have a question. If you had to choose one of the actors that I mentioned for the role of Tony Stark, other than Robert Downey Jr., who would you choose? Or if you have an entirely different actor in mind, feel free to mention him. Or her. Twist. Ah, what a twist. Anyways, you can leave your thoughts on that below if that's the thing that you want to do. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.